Two mini rapid games first. It is handshakes and we're off.
We're off. Magnus pushes a pawn. Hikaru does likewise. I believe is d4, d5, and Queen's Gambit.
Oh.
A double Queen's Gambit.
But Hikaru, he's been doing this, right? He's been playing some offbeat openings. He, against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, chose a Petrov variation that you don't see very often. So Hikaru is showing, I'm going to think outside the box. I hope my opponents can't prepare for me.
Yeah, this one, as you mentioned, it's a bit rare at the top level. It had a bad reputation years ago. It was thought that you simply could not play copycat chess. You could not bring your queen out like this so early. But yeah, in recent times, computers make everything viable, and Black does have a solid position. The idea is just to eliminate all of the central pawns and get symmetry. And yeah, Nakamura looking confident.
Yeah, looking really confident. Some mind games there. He plays queen takes pawn, immediately gets up and lays the board. Magnus, after a think, develops the other knight first, defending the central pawn. He can delay taking it back because the d4 pawn is pinned, so the knight from b1 can still jump onto c3, targeting that queen. That's out quite early on in the game.
Yeah, it seems like white can gain another tempo by playing this knight c3 move, and I believe that Hikaru, he moves instantly. He's analyzed that with the center, the C and D pawns, they're disappearing, that maybe this isn't actually that difficult to play, and perhaps white needs to find a fine string of moves just to keep the advantage, otherwise we may see equality.
Yeah, we see the evaluation bar slightly on white side, but nothing significant, and equality will be the name of the game if white isn't energetic enough, and I think he's relying on surprise value. Hikaru Nakamura again getting up for the second time within the first minute of this game, this clash. Wow, impressive stuff. He has landed the first psychological blow against Magnus.
It does look like Hikaru Nakamura has managed to get that surprise in as Magnus slows down and then retreats with the knight, continues to put pressure on the queen. Traditional chess wisdom, don't get your queen out early on in the game because it can be pursued by the pieces, allowing them to develop to the right squares. And we can also see Magnus now, he has to decide where to take out that light squared bishop, and that's the next move that is coming up.
Yep, he puts a pawn on e4. What could be more natural? We heard that quiz with Danny and Hikaru about Magnus. He likes to put a pawn on e4 and move one. He forgot to do it, so 7 moves later, better late than never. But occupying the center, bringing the light squared bishop out, as you say, Tanya, and Black has wasted 3 tempi with the queen.
Is Magnus looking amused right now with what's going on over the board?
Well, Hikaru certainly isn't, so I can read his expression, and this could be a bad sign, because sometimes players play these offbeat openings, there's not well-trodden territory, and then when they're out of preparation, things can backfire. And Hikaru, I can't tell, and I won't try again, because Danny...
You don't want to take too many risks. There we go, bishop to e2, he'll get the white king to safety next turn, and a very stable position for both sides.
Symmetrical pawn structure, the central pawns have been traded off, the players continue to develop, and now a very symmetrical pawn structure with that last move. Black also aiming at developing the dark squared bishop, getting the king to the castling safety. But it just feels as if white with that extra move might be the one who makes the jump first. The knight can land onto d5 first, once of course you get your king to safety. And these positions are not without poison.
There's always chances for this position to change from quiet to tactical. As you said, a knight d5 jump at any moment can be in the cards for white. And for Magnus, I mean, these little decisions that he's made, he puts bishop on e2 rather than on c4. If this bishop were on c4 right now, it'd be a more dynamic, aggressive position. But I think he's just going to get his king castled and then try to figure out the aftermath. Because for Black, where is that dark squared bishop going? These are not easy questions to answer. And I feel like both players, they are now on their own, and it's about who plays the better chess.
file remains blocked in that one. Let's head back to our marquee matchup. Magnus Carlsen also reaching out to make a move on his board. I see that's a retreating one. Hikaru with the think here. He was the one who surprised Magnus early on in the opening. What is the current position, David?
Well, first of all, Magnus's pieces, and nearly none of them have crossed his first rank. It looks like Fischer random chess.
Ooh.
And wow, tactics from Hikaru, not winning, nothing too spectacular, just a double attack on the white queen. White now has to move Her Majesty there. Black's rook on the d-file attacking the white queen, Black's knight attacking the queen. And I think the idea from Hikaru is just very simply to trade off white's light squared bishop. Ooh, the board tested us, teased us there. The queen did land on a safe square on f3. And knighting his bishop would guide the game towards equality. Just too sterile here. Total symmetry.
I typically don't like calling a game a draw. You say level, even. It's one of those words. This looks very, very drawish. There are only 5 pawns per side, equal material, no weaknesses to speak of. So Magnus, he looked displeased. It was a shady opening from Hikaru, perhaps one he won't use again, just because if your opponent's ready for it, they may be able to take advantage. But this is completely equal. There's really not much to speak of about the position itself. It's just completely dead.
Yeah, a picture paints 1,000 words, and look at Magnus on the camera there. Does not look too excited, too interested in this position. He knows this one, with high likelihood, is going to be a draw. Hikaru, just great opening preparation. He's neutralized Magnus effortlessly here.
Yeah, and we saw the same narrative in Magnus's game against Fabi in round 3. Starting with the white pieces, Magnus really did not get anything out of the opening. Fabi neutralized all pressure, and it looks like Hikaru's managed to do that as well, getting that early surprise in with his opening approach. It has worked to perfection. And